Chapter 1. Life or Death? The words drifted at her through the darkness. Detached syllables. The rough scrape of a flat, airless voice that reached into the heavy drowse of her mind and forced her to come awake, to listen, to make a choice. Life or death? She groaned against the cold plank floor beneath her cheek, trying to bar the voice and the relentless decision it demanded from her mind. This wasn't the first time she'd heard these words, this question. Not the first time in the space of some endless hours that she'd peeled one heavy eyelid open in the frigid stillness of her cabin home and found herself looking into the terrible face of a monster. Vampire. Choose. The creature whispered thinly, the word drawn out in a slow hiss. He crouched over her where she lay, curled and shivering on the floor near the cold fireplace. His fangs glistened in the moonlight, razor-sharp, lethal. The tips of them were still stained with fresh blood, her blood, drawn from the bite he'd made in her throat only moments before. She tried to get up, but couldn't rouse her weakened muscles to so much as flex in response. She tried to speak, managed only a rasping moan. Her throat felt as dry as ash, her tongue thick and listless in her mouth. Outside, the Alaskan winter roared, bitter and unforgiving, filling her ears. No one to hear her screams, even if she'd tried. This creature could kill her in an instant. She didn't know why he hadn't. She didn't know why he kept pressing her for the answer to a question she had been asking herself nearly every day of her life for the past 4 years. Ever since the accident that had taken her husband and little girl. How often had she wished she'd been killed along with them on that icy stretch of highway? Everything would have been so much easier, less painful if she had. She could feel a silent judgment in the unblinking, inhuman eyes that fixed on her in the dark now, searingly bright, pupils as thin as a cat's. Intricate skin markings tracked all over the creature's hairless head and immense body. The webbed pattern seemed to pulse with violent color as he watched her. Silence lengthened while he patiently examined her as he might an insect trapped inside a glass jar. When he spoke again, this time his lips did not move. The words penetrated her skull like smoke and sank deeply into her mind. The decision is yours, human. Tell me what it will be. Life or death? She turned her head away and closed her eyes, refusing to look at the creature, refusing to be part of the private, unspoken game he seemed to be playing with her. A predator toying with his prey, watching it squirm while he decided whether to spare it or not. How it shall end depends on you. You will decide. Go to hell, she slurred, her voice thick and rusty. Iron-strung fingers clamped onto her chin and wrenched her around to face him once more. The creature cocked his head, those cat-like amber eyes emotionless as he drew in a rasping breath, then spoke through his blood-stained lips and fangs. Choose the course. There isn't much time now. There was no impatience in the voice that growled so near her face, only a flat indifference, an apathy that seemed to say he truly didn't care one way or the other what answer she gave him. Rage boiled up inside her. She wanted to tell him to fuck off, to kill her and get it over with, if that's what he meant to do. He wasn't going to make her beg, damn it. Defiance churned in her gut, pushing anger up her parched throat and onto the very tip of her tongue. But the words wouldn't come. She couldn't ask him for death. Not even when death might be the only escape from the terror that held her now. The only escape from the pain of having lost the 2 people she'd loved the most and the seemingly pointless existence that was all she had left since they'd been gone. He released her from his hard grasp and watched with maddening calm as she sagged back down to the floor. Time stretched, impossibly long. She struggled to summon her voice.